Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is I Love You Say It Back. It's a podcast. I'm your host, Vic D. Solo Dolo. It's been a minute. Let's get it cracking. That feels so good. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is I Love You Say It Back. It's the podcast. I'm your host once again, Vic D, and today is Thursday, October 23rd. I don't like the fact that we are already coming towards like the end of October. You know, we talked about it every single week during the month of October. It's like you look forward to it so much. I'm like so excited. I'm like, yeah, October. And then before you know it, it's like, well, we got about a week left. We got 1 week left in October. And it feels like I haven't even gotten out to do the things that I wanted to do in the month of October. But such has been life the last couple years since we started the podcast. But you know what? I do believe it's all going to be worth it and pay off. And, you know, sometimes you got to sacrifice a little bit here and there and you'll be all right. I want to talk about a couple things that we got a loaded show. I want to thank you guys for joining us on a Thursday. Hopefully you're excited and tuning in. It is a little bit different. We've had C's on the podcast the last like month and a half or so. It is a little bit different prepping with someone versus prepping without someone. You have to do different content, different strategies, different, you know, it's one thing to have a conversation and bounce ideas and talk things off versus doing a show solo. So I'm excited to get back into it. So let's get right into it. Actually, before we do, I want to remind you, please like, subscribe, whatever you listen to. Apple, if you're on Spotify, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I know I met some people earlier this week, and they said they found the podcast. Shout out to the girl at the gym earlier today who she owned a matcha shop, and I believe it was Bunny's Matcha. Shout out to you if you're tuning in. That was really cool. It's second person at the gym or second person. I forgot where we were. Someone else said, I know you do the podcast. So no, that was at BJ's. So shout out to anyone who's tuned in. It's really cool. Okay. Low key. It's cool because when people, used to, you know, you'd meet people out and about and it'd always be like, you'd be the guy on the radio. You'd be the guy on the radio. You're the guy on the radio. And it used to be like, yeah, of course. Yeah. I was a guy on the radio, but now it's like, you're so far removed from that and you're doing things with the podcast that it's kind of cool that people are like, wait, you're the guy with the podcast. So it's exciting. It's cool. I love you. And hit that subscribe. If you're not following us on our socials, at ILY Say It Back Pod, or you could follow myself or you could follow both. I am at Vic D Radio. Let's get into a show. It's just spitballing. I want to have some fun tonight. Listen to this. This is true. 100% true story. This happened last night. I want to talk about cravings. Ladies, I know you feel me on this 100%. You're like, oh my gosh, I got cravings when I was pregnant. I get cravings even when I'm not pregnant. I get pregnant. I get cravings when I'm on my period. Cravings are real, not just to women, not just to pregnant women, not just to women on their period, but to everyone. I got the most random craving last night, and I think I'm a little crazy. I'm not joking. I've thought about this for a while, but last night it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. So last night I'm out on a run. It's like 5 a.m. I consider it last night, but I guess it's technically this morning. But anyways, I'm out on a run, and for some reason, I don't know what comes over me. I don't know what hits me. I don't know what it is. But I get this insane craving for Taco Bell crunchy tacos. Like the basic ones, those, I don't even know how much they are these days, but like Taco Bell crunchy tacos, I get a mad craving for, right? And I'm in the middle of the run, and for some reason, it just hits me, and it's a very specific. Sometimes you're like, I know what I'm craving, and I know I'm craving something, and it's maybe like, I don't know, it's like a burger or something, but it's like it could be from anywhere. No. I needed tacos from Taco Bell. Very specific craving. So then I went to Instagram, and I'm going to read you some of the results. I said, and low key, I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. I just haven't kind of had an excuse to. But now that we do the podcast and now that we're in the content game, I don't think that it would be a bad idea to do this. But listen to this. So I'm going back right here. Ella Langley, we'll talk about that too. I put how many crunchy tacos, I've thought about this before. I think I could do some crazy numbers. How many do you think you could eat in 30 minutes? Taco Bell crunchy tacos. And folks, I'm looking at the results and I got buddies like boys like me. I would expect girls to maybe not be able to eat as many or maybe not want to admit as many, but I'm not joking. If I have the right amount of hunger, that doesn't mean I'm starving. Sometimes the starving doesn't, you don't eat as much when you're starving. But if I'm the right amount of hunger, am I crazy? I look. I seriously think I could eat anywhere from 45 to 55, and I'm lowballing it. I'm embarrassed. Like, is this a safe space? I think I could eat minimum 50 tacos. Those crunchy tacos, you give me a crunchy taco, you give me 2 hot sauce packets, I'm putting it down in less than a minute if I'm the right kind of hungry. And this is kind of challenge-based eating. 10, no problem. 20, easy. 30, you start having to pace yourself. You slow down a little bit. But if I'm pushing and if you're giving me 30 minutes, that's insane. I think I'll be eating some of these and I'm like, I don't even feel it. Now I want to read you some of the results that people were saying. Like, I got buddies, again, my age, somewhere around my height, my weight. They said about 20, maybe 30. And I'm like, okay, that's it? Girls, I get it. Some people said 6. I thought that's ridiculous. I think you're just lying at that point. I'm sex because it's so dainty and cute. Like, no, you probably put down, everybody who voted can put down at least 12 to 15. I can almost guarantee it. I see some 12s. I see some 8s. One of my boys said 15 or over. I'm like, 15? Like, I can do that in the first 5 minutes. I'm not joking. Like, I don't know. We might have to do a challenge on this, but I really genuinely think I could do more than 50 tacos in 30 minutes. I don't know if I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just overshooting what I expect. Maybe what's going on in my head isn't realistic, but I truly think that, and I was embarrassed to admit it. I was like, damn, yeah, people are going to say like, oh, like 80, 40. So, and I was like, damn, everybody's saying like 20. The high end numbers were like 30. And I'm like, ugh, that's what I said. Is this a safe space? Can we talk safely here? Someone says 6'7". 6'7". Hilarious, pal. Anyway, so that's got me thinking, how many Taco Bell crunchy tacos could you genuinely, truly eat in one 30-minute sitting? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I guess I'll have to try it and find out. What else do we got here? So last week we talked about, we're in the middle of October, scary movies. I don't think that there's a movie. They don't make scary movies anymore. They make scary movies, but not like genuinely scary movies. Not movies that you go to bed that you're like, damn, I am worried. I am nervous. I am thinking about it. I am kind of losing a little bit of sleep. Even if you're not losing sleep, you're kind of thinking about it. So we came across this great list online, and I wanted to share with you the 10 scariest movies of all time, according to science. These are the 10 scariest movies of all time, according to science. So this was done by the Science Scare Project, revealed the 2025 list of scariest movies according to science. We'll kick it off with a movie I've never heard of. Number 10 is called Talk to Me. Okay. Number 9, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Number 8, Smile. Those movies were creepy because of the actual smile, but that doesn't really freak me out. Number 8, again, was Smile. Number 7 was Smile number 2. Number 6, Hereditary. Number 5, I kind of agree. The Conjuring was pretty scary. Number 5 was The Conjuring. Number 4, Insidious. Number 3, I can't pronounce this. Skinaminrick. Yeah, I don't know. But that came out in 2002. Number 2 was a movie called Host. And number 1, scariest movie, according to science, was Sinister. So there you go. I was at last week. We were asking, hey, what's this last scary movie that really truly moved you, scared you? And we got some great. Someone recommended a movie called God, I forget. I'm blanking on the name, but essentially it was called. The plot was essentially there's a Hollywood actress that wanted to stay young, and she went to like some witch. She brewed her up some kind of tea or some kind of something, and she said, I'll make you your first batch. And then she felt great after drinking it. She's like, oh my gosh, I want to stay. You know, people, it's kind of plays on the obsession of Hollywood and wanting to stay young and stay relevant. So she goes to this witch doctor. She makes her this tea, makes her feel young again, removes the wrinkles. And then she asked her, like, hey, I want some more of that. She says, I can't make you anymore, but you can make it yourself. And she gave her the ingredients, and when the main ingredient was like a baby fetus, which is absolutely wild because then the plot thickens and she goes on and she's like, okay, I'll do it. But now she's out there killing women, pregnant women, trying to get these baby fetuses to stay young and relevant. It's crazy. I was like, you know what? That sounds really interesting. So that might be something I have to look into. It's more of like a psychological thriller, like things that are really mess with your mind. But then you also have the reality of like Hollywood and the obsession with youth and relevance and all that stuff. And it's kind of like, oh my goodness, like I know it's crazy, but do we really think like, yeah, that could never happen? Like, no, absolutely. I think people are fucking crazy. Alexa, play Billy Currington. God is great. Bear is good. People are crazy. Speaking of good country music, Ella Langley. I've been out of the country music. I used to do a segment called What I'm Bumping, and it was just a song from a new artist or a new song from a current artist or whatever. But it was a song that it's literally what I'm bumping. And if we're friends on social media, if we're friends on Instagram, I posted a video. I cannot get enough of this song. Ella Langley put out a new song, and it's lyrically brilliant. It's called Choosing Texas. And basically the way that I interpret it, the way I take it is, it's kind of easy. There's someone in Texas that this guy loves, and she's trying to get him to fall in love with her. And they represent, like, she chose Texas as, okay, that's the girl because she lives in Texas. Tennessee is me because I live in Tennessee. And it starts, and it makes it very clear. She says, just when I thought I was getting him to fall in love with Tennessee, a.k.a. her, they end up going to Texas, blah, blah, blah. And he ends up like, he's choosing Texas, and now I'm drinking whiskey and I'm sad. It's a brilliant song. It's really well written. It's got a good little vibe. It reminds me a little bit of Midland. Just a good tune, just a good ride around, sad, heartbreak, good drink. I want to drink some whiskey to that. I haven't had whiskey in a long time. I kind of want to have some whiskey to it. Ella Langley, Choosing Texas. Expect big things from that song. I'm calling it now. That's what I'm bumping. But since we're staying on the topic of like what science says about, okay, we just did the science top 10 scariest movies. If you're in a relationship, a lot of the people that listen to this podcast are in relationships. Congratulations. Must be nice. But the point that I'm getting at is, do you ever wonder what, and there's a lot of theories on this. Do you ever wonder what, like, okay, what are the key things that make us happy in a relationship? What are the key things that matter in a relationship? So going back to science, this is not opinion. Going back to science, these are the 3 things that make a relationship stronger. 3 things that make a relationship stronger according to science. You ready for this? Go get your mans, go get your baby daddy, go get your woman, go get whoever you're interested in and be like, babe, this is what we need to do more of. Number 1, this is kind of toxic, but I could actually see how it would, why it kind of has to be this way. So number 3 is disliking the same people. Toxic ass. I hate that bitch. I hate her. And by default, you're not going to be like, no, actually, honey, I like her. I thought she was a fantastic person. No. If your girl hates somebody, you got to hate her too. If your man hates somebody, you have to, by default, you got to hate that person too. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Disliking the same people, terrible for normal life, apparently great for a relationship. Number 2, farting around each other. And of course, everybody knows girls don't fart. So it means guys farting around girls. I mean, look, the truth is, it's not fun to go on a vacation. It's not fun to go on a trip and you're having to hold it in. Once you kind of break that seal, once you kind of break that, like, yep, I just let it out and you're still going to love me and I'm still going to love you and I'm not embarrassed to do it. I just want to be comfortable. I mean, you're breaking down walls and barriers. It really is a small thing. It's not even a small thing. It's a big thing that means big things. So farting around each other. And number 3, teasing each other, really healthy for a relationship. And of course, that one makes sense, right? Like, if you can't joke around with your partner, if you're not going to be able to, be like, hey, honey, blank, and whatever you say, like, does this dress look good? Or no, actually, that's a bad example. That's a terrible, honey, that looks terrible on you. But teasing each other, being able to call each other little pet names, or you look big, honey. You're a big fat guy, slow guy. All you do is eat nachos. I don't know what is. Whatever it is, being able to tease each other, healthy for relationships. So there you go. Top 3 things that make a relationship stronger: disliking the same people, farting around each other, girls don't fart, and teasing each other. So if you want a healthy relationship, start hating the same people. Start letting it rip. Oh my gosh. Now I feel like we're really connected. And start teasing each other. Let's get into your fun facts here in case you didn't know. I love these. Fun facts in case you didn't know. Here we go. In case you didn't know, let me take that back. No number between 1 and 999 includes the letter A in it. In case you didn't know. In case you didn't know, reason 7 million why we don't deserve dogs. Brain scans show that dogs not only love you, but they also see you as your family. In case you didn't know. And finally tonight, in case you didn't know, I love these because it puts time in perspective. 1 million seconds is equal to about 11 days. Folks, 1 billion seconds with a B is roughly around 31 and a half years. So we go from 11 days to 31 and a half years, and 1 trillion seconds, listen to this, is equal to about 31,710 years. Wow. In case you didn't know, that one blew my mind. Time is a trip. Actually, amounts of time. You talk about, we're talking about seconds, right? Just imagine, we're getting pretty close here. I would say in the next couple of years, we're going to see the first trillionaire. You cannot be that rich. You could spend the rest of your life and your children's life just spending that money, and it's a bottomless well of wealth. Sponsor the podcast. If you're looking to spend somewhere to spend your money, spend it wisely. Spend it here. I'll promote Amazon. I'll promote Tesla. Whatever. We'll take it. But yeah, time is 1 million to 1 billion to 1 trillion. What a massive gap. Whew. That's insane. Okay, I have a Wednesday wisdom that I almost want to jump into it right now. I don't want to waste too much more time. I want to get right into it. So this one's crazy because think about this. Some of you guys listening, whether you're in a relationship or not, at some point you were dating. You were dating, people, seeing what you liked, seeing what you didn't like. I mean, that's kind of how you get to meet people. Here's our Wednesday wisdom conversation, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts and opinion on this. Maybe one of the better ones that we've gotten in a while. Here we go. Hi, Vic. Where do you stand on casual dating? This is from a young, late 20s woman. Where do men stand on casual dating? I enjoy going out and seeing what's out there, what I like, and more importantly, what I don't. One of the guys I was, quote, casually dating found out I went on a date with another guy. I didn't tell him, but I also was not trying to hide it. Regardless, he found out and wants nothing to do with me. He went ghost. I'm upset. Clearly, she liked him, and clearly, he liked her. Help me understand what's the point of dating if someone is going to get upset for seeing what's out there. Like, am I wrong? Or this is a fascinating question. Because, folks, when you're dating, depending on what level you are, depending on where you stand on these things, like, dating is supposed to be like, okay, I'm going to hang out with you and see if I like you. And if it's not you, then maybe I like the other person. This is one of those questions and situations, and I can't wait to hear what you guys say on this on social media tomorrow. Quickly, before I take a sip of my drink. How would you feel, and would your opinion be different if a guy had written in this question? So just think about that as you're forming your opinion right now. Because casual dating, it's like, okay, I went on a date. Yeah, I went to have dinner with this guy, this girl. And the next week, it's like, hey, we're not official. Well, I'm not exclusive to you. If we're dating, you can go date whoever you want. I can see whoever I want until we hit either an agreement or an understanding where it's like, okay, I like you, you like me. Let's kind of close things off. Let's close that window and be exclusive to each other. This is a question, or this is a situation where two things can be true at once. And I know a lot of you guys struggle understanding that it's a lot of your politics. I'm all the way over here. I'm all the way over here. And it's like, you do understand that two things could be correct at once. This is one of those situations. Listen, I am all for dating. I am all for dating, and I believe that you should date other people. You should date someone, and if you're interested in them, go on a second date with them. And if you're not, then you're like, okay, well then let me date somebody else. Now with social media, now with dating apps, I don't do the dating app thing. I don't. I'm not good at it. Like it's a crazy thing. I think there's people who are really actually good at dating apps. I'm not one of those people. But you don't need dating apps with social media. Like social media, Instagram, TikTok, like all these, wherever you can send private messages, is kind of like a dating app in a weird way. But let me get back to my point. I fully agree that you should be dating people. You should be talking to this person and seeing if you like him. And if you don't, then move on to another person. Not necessarily forcing it to where it's like, I have to be with, no. But what's wrong with going out on a date and saying like, I wasn't really feeling that. Or I like it, let's see where it goes. But in the meantime, why not accept the date with somebody else? But here's where people struggle to understand that just because you're doing that doesn't mean that the other person doesn't have a right to feel some type of way about you going to see George and Steve and Nick and Carson and Joel and John. And, if I'm into a girl and we're dating and I'm into her, yes, I'm going to feel some type of way about her. Like, hey, man, and I'll give you a great example. Years ago, I had this is when I was still teaching sex ed. I was doing one of those things. I met a great person. I was like, yeah, we hung out, we went to dinner. And I was like, this is freaking awesome. I was like, this is cool. I like this girl. We had a great time, blah, blah, blah. And then you quickly realize that you're not on the same wavelength as far as understanding. Like, okay, I realized that she was seeing other people. Nothing wrong with that. Like, that's where I learned. I was like, you know what? Like, we're not exclusive. I'm not exclusive to her, and she's not exclusive to me. But it also, whether or not we hung out again or did anything down the road, is irrelevant to the fact that I was in the right to feel like, hey, I no longer see you as blank, you know? Or maybe if we had that, until we have that conversation, it's okay to feel both things, or it's okay to say like, hey, she has a right to date both people. You have a right to date both people, but he has a right to feel some type of way about it, because if he's in a different mindset, as far as like, maybe he was a little bit more invested than you. Maybe he was under the impression that after your first couple dates that went so well, he's like, okay, maybe it was a lack of communication thing. So what I would do, here's your Wednesday wisdom. What I would do, you need to go back and have this conversation. You need to put your big girl panties on if you're upset, if you like him, because he spoke up. He said, I don't like it. And he said, I'm done. You got to respect that. I know it may make some of you guys uncomfortable. It's like, oh, how could, no. She has every right to do whatever she wants, and somebody has a right to react the same way. And this isn't exclusive to guys. This isn't exclusive to girls. This is exclusive to anybody who's in that situation. If I'm dating a girl and we hang out and she finds out that I'm seeing somebody else or going out on the same date or whatever it is, she has a right to leave my ass and be like, I don't like that you did that. And you know what? She has every right to do that. So it is a situation that a lot of people struggle to understand, that two things can be true at once. You could be in the right for dating whoever you want as many times as you want. But if you were feeling each other, I feel like you need to go back and have that conversation and say, hey, look, I was under the impression you were seeing other people. I was still seeing other people. Maybe we found a way back to each other. But clearly, if they're both upset, if you're both upset about the situation or where you ended up, I think it's worth a conversation to say, hey, you know what? Why don't we go out on another date? Why don't we hang out more? Why don't we see where this goes? We're kind of exclusive to each other for the foreseeable future. Maybe we go hang out for a couple weeks. We go do a couple things. We do a couple, spend a little bit more time where it's just like, let's see where this goes. And in that time, you could be exclusive. These are all adult conversations that are very easy to have. The problem is that a lot of people are afraid to speak up, or afraid of what the other person will say, or whatever it is. People often will not do it because of that fear of communication or fear of rejection or whatever. It's like, oh, maybe we're on the same page, and now I'm going to look stupid. This is a great conversation. This is incredible conversation where I think both people are in the right. I don't think anybody's in the wrong. That is your Wednesday wisdom. Vic D has spoken. I can't wait to see what people say on this on social media. Because remember, everybody's perfect online. Everybody's perfect, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, I'm perfect. I would have done blank and blank and blank. It's almost like we do our football picks here on our Sunday podcast with the boys. And you get one wrong, right? You get one wrong and they're like, death, taxes, and you got to fade every one of Vic's picks. It's like, no one's ever wrong when they talk shit to me about being wrong, because they always know the result. They talk shit after I'm wrong. They see the game and they're like, idiot. But when I'm right and they were wrong, you never hear from them. It's crickets. Everybody online is perfect. Actually, I want to do a topic on that maybe next week about confidence and about having confidence in yourself, not based off results. And it has to do with, I feel like I've learned this recently, where it's like, I've noticed a lot of people have confidence because they've gotten results that maybe they didn't expect. I'm confident because a video went viral. I'm confident because I had success in blank. They're confident only because they have something to be confident about. It takes real confidence and real passion and real drive and real determination to be confident, even when you're not having success, even when you're not. I know I'm the guy, whether this video goes viral, whether this podcast does great, whether if you're a chef or a salesman or whatever, that like if I kill this sales, I'm going to get confident and I'm going to walk around and I'm going to walk around and be confident because this sale went through. Nah, you know what real confidence is? Real confidence is having that confidence, whether that sale goes through or not. Be like, you know what? That wasn't the right person. I know I'm good at what I do. So this applies to anything. And I've been around the content game a lot more lately, and I just see it in a lot of people. It's like you got phony confidence because something went right in your world. But you didn't have that confidence until something went right. You needed something to validate your confidence. We'll elaborate more on that. There's more that I want to get into, but I think it's a fascinating content. And if you're listening to that, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Believe in yourself before the success. That's real. Don't wait until you're like, oh, now I see it. Now I can be confident. No, believe in yourself. Speaking of, I want to just quickly touch on this because this is in our sports podcast. Our sports podcast is going to be coming on Sunday, but World Series is getting ready to kick off. The Dodgers are a heavy favorite to win the World Series, to go back-to-back for the first time since the Yankees did it in like the early 2000s or something like that. But it's crazy. It's crazy that it hasn't been done. Obviously, the Dodgers have a historic team. You talk about Shohei, to Mookie, to Freddie, to Max Muncy, to Will Smith, to Teoscar, to Kike, to Tommy Edmonds, you're talking about a lineup that is just relentless, top to bottom. You never get any breaks. It's beautiful to watch as a fan. Series starts, I guess if you're listening to this on Thursday, you're going to be, I guess we can say tomorrow. I'm obviously going to pick the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the heavy favorites for a reason. They are the better team. Their pitching is insane. But I will say, I was more afraid of the Jays than I was the Seattle Mariners. I feel like the Mariners had a little bit better pitching. The Jays just could put up freaking runs after runs after run. And that ALCS game was incredible. The way that George Springer hit that was just the way they came back and won that game was amazing, which I'm a big fan of George Springer. Not a fan of what he did with the Astros, whatever, but he actually has a speech impediment. He has a stutter, and he started a foundation for kids who deal with speech impediments as well, and I think that's freaking awesome. But going for the Dodgers, I think the Dodgers are going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Jays just come out offensively and just – the Dodgers cannot pitch any better than they pitched against the Milwaukee Brewers. Hopefully that continues, but who knows, man? Baseball's crazy, and the Jays are hot right now, so we'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and wrap up this episode with a little late night trivia. It was fun doing this show by myself. Takes a little getting used to, but you get right back in rhythm, hopefully by the end of it. Let's wrap it up with, once again, a little late night trivia. Here we go. On average, this happens to people twice a day. On average, this happens to people twice a day. What is it? I'm solo dolo today, so we don't have to wait on anybody to answer. So if you want some more time, feel free to hit the pause button, but I'm going to give you the answer right now. On average, this happens to people twice a day. Here's a little hint. If you're watching this video online, it has to do with something you would see online. An Instagram, a Facebook, a social media ad about something that you just talked about. Seeing an ad for something that you just talked about. Like, it's crazy. Or not even an ad sometimes. Sometimes just like you talk about anything in general. It's like all of a sudden here comes the videos. Like they're just pumping them. People get mad at them. The government is listening. Listen, Bill. Nobody gives a damn about your conversation about freaking vaping. The government's gonna know my private. Like, all you do is talk about vaping. You're like, drinking on the weekend. Nobody cares. I actually think it's awesome for advertising, but because now I just be like, man, I was just thinking about that. It's perfect. It's great. Heading into a great weekend, we have Thursday night football. I'll make a pick real quick. That is going to be okay. Chargers or Vikings at Chargers, I believe. And Chargers are reeling, man. Vikings are the underdogs. That is going to be an interesting. This is what we call a flip a coin game. I'm afraid to do a video tomorrow. I don't know who to pick. The Chargers are favored by a little bit, but I mean, who the hell knows? They haven't looked that great. I'm going to take the Chargers at home, but I don't feel good about it. This could change by tomorrow. So just keep an eye on my socials at Vic D Radio. I make every single one of my picks before the game because I'm not a weenie wuss who waits till after the game to talk about, like, see, this is what, shut the fuck up. Y'all have a great night. Sleep good. Que sueñen con los angelitos. Go listen to that Ella Langley song. It is absolutely incredible. Check us out on socials at ILYSayItBackPod. I'm at Vic D Radio. Hit subscribe on Spotify, on Apple, anywhere you listen. Check us out on YouTube at ILYSayItBackPod. I love you. Say it back. Peace.